Hi, Jerry Jenkins here talking about all things writing. Today, what I think you need to know about narrative or writing. What keeps readers turning pages, moviegoers glued to their seats, and binge watchers up all night? Stories well told, the very definition of narrative writing. Any story, fiction or nonfiction, will share these 7 common elements. First, plot. What happens in your story either keeps your readers turning the pages or sees them setting your book aside. Second, theme. If your plot is what happens, your theme is why it happens. Ask yourself, what message do I want readers to take away? What do I want to teach them about life? Your theme should be subtly weaved through your narrative. Third, setting. This is where your story takes place, but also should include when, as well as how things look, smell, taste, feel, and sound. Too many beginning writers, and even some veterans, start their stories with a lengthy description of the setting. Don't. Quickly get to the story itself, layering description in with the action. Put your character, or in the case of a nonfiction book, yourself or the reader, in the setting, and you'll find readers can experience the setting vicariously. Fourth, point of view. Through whom will readers experience your story? Your perspective character serves as your camera and recorder, and you can be in their mind, but you can have just one point of view character per scene and preferably per book. Now, some books have multiple perspective characters, but they must be limited to one per scene. Your story can be told in first person, I, me, my, second person, you, yours, which I don't recommend, or third person, he, her, she, is, and that's the most common. Whichever you choose, readers should experience only what your point of view character experiences. In a nonfiction book, usually the author plays this role. Fifth, characters. Your main character must be a realistic, relatable person. He or she should have human flaws readers can relate to. Even superheroes shouldn't be perfect. Who can relate to perfection? Even Indiana Jones has a snake phobia, and Superman can be plagued by kryptonite. By the same token, your villain needs credible motivation. He should never be bad simply because he's the bad guy. He must be believable. After all, villains don't consider themselves villains. They believe their actions are justified. Now, next comes one of the most important elements of narrative writing, conflict. Yes, this is also true for nonfiction, even if the conflict is simply that the reader needs to be educated. As for novels, conflict is the engine of fiction. If your story feels flat, it likely lacks conflict. Life is great when nothing goes wrong, but that's boring to read about. So plunge your main character into terrible trouble. Make life so difficult it seems impossible. Okay, finally, resolution. In nonfiction, deliver on your promises. Give readers what they bargained for when they bought your book. In a novel, keep your lead character center stage to the end. Everything he learns through all the complications that arise from his trying to fix the terrible trouble you've plunged him into should, in the end, give him what he needs to rise to the occasion and win the day. According to New York Times bestselling author Dean Koontz, the terrible trouble depends on your genre. But in short, it's the worst possible dilemma you can think of for your main character. Just remember, it must bear stakes high enough to carry the entire novel. One caveat, whatever the dilemma, it will mean little to readers if they don't first find reasons to care about your character. They will be magnetized if they're invested in the character. Koontz adds that everything your character does to try to get out of that trouble makes it only worse until things look hopeless. This forces your hero to take action, to use everything gained from facing all those obstacles to rise to the occasion and succeed against all odds, or fail if you opt for other than a happy ending. Just make sure your character changes by the end of your story, or in nonfiction that both you and the reader experience change. That's the definition of character arc. What does your character most need or want, and why? What is keeping them from it? What will your character do to get what he wants? Master narrative writing, and you might just write a story adored by many. If you've found this helpful, consider liking it, commenting on it, sharing it, and subscribing to my channel. And check out my blog at jerryjenkins.com/blog. All the best with your writing, and I'll see you next time.